Good morning. Oh my goodness. All I did was thread my needle and I looked up and there's so many people here already. That's exciting. Okay. Today we're going to do these 3 big flowers down here. Sorry, leaves down here. I'm going to use the same color I used before. It's 875 from Anchor Threads, my favorite. And we're going to do a stitch that a lot of people don't like, and I'm going to apologize in advance, but I really like it. It's the brick stitch. Now, people tend to not like it because they can't get all of the bricks even. Okay, so I'm going to draw on a little paper first. I thought I had a marker over here. Well, that's annoying. It's okay. I can do my pen. I was in the etc. winning. Okay, so brick stitch is like this. You're going to make your stitches all the same length. So you can't go like this, and then like this, and then like this, and then like this. You can't. You have to do them all the same length. All it really is alternating backstitch in the rows. So here we go. Yeah, you're going to have your stitch like this, your next stitch like this, your next stitch like this, and like this, all about the same length. I'm not going to measure. No one's going to measure. Okay? Now, the next row, it's going to be laid like bricks. So bricks are offset halfway. So this one here will go from the middle of this one to the middle of this one, the middle of this one to the middle of this one, and the middle of this one to the middle of this one. And you'll have little half stitches at the start and end of this row. Now the next row, did you guess it? It'll be exactly the same as the first row. Now sometimes it does get tricky when you have shapes that are leaves, because after you do the first row, the second row is a little bit shorter. So you do maybe 3. But then this one here, you still have some space on either side. So you just do tiny little stitches. So I think this is where people get the most like, ooh, you know, because as it goes smaller, it's not a nice squared off shape anymore. Okay, so we're going to do all 6 strands for this. Of course, you could do a line down the middle if you want to keep them nice and straight, as I make the most wonkiest lines I've ever made in my life. And it's just these 3. So we're just going to practice a wee bit and then call it a day, you know? I need to work on my straight lines going from here to there because they're not that straight. And then we'll do a nice little brick stitch for the stem too. So let's start with that because that's easy peasy to see. So all 6 strands. And like I said, we're going to go right up from the bottom up, just regular, like a regular back stitch. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. So all of this, we've done it before. I feel like this is going to fall out some way. And then the next row will be offset like bricks. Oh, not pause, just play from the beginning. Go on Okay, for this one, I'm going to tuck it up under there. I know it's a little bit longer, but it has to be to be covered up there, you know? Okay, so now we're going to do the other side, meaning we're going to do the bricks. So what I like to do is start in the middle of one that I know I need to keep the same size of. Do you know what I mean? Like I know that all of these here are going to be the size I want, so I'm going to start with this one and then fill in the rest. And you want to go just right next to it. And it makes little bricks. Woke up early and had to jump on. Did you guys stay? I do say stay up, but I guess if you're in the States, it wasn't even that late. Did you guys watch the Super Bowl? And then for this one, again, I'm just gonna make it a little bit longer and tuck it in because I want all of these yellow ones to overlap. Yeah, so it looks like the stem is coming up from behind the flower. Let's just jump down here. Yes, but I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it either. I didn't even start the kickoff because here the kickoff was at 11:30. That was too late. So I stayed up until about 11:30, but then I went upstairs because David was talking to his friends that we normally have. Yes, we normally do have a Super Bowl party, but obviously we're not allowed to have any people over. We're in a lockdown. So it was just me and David. Well, it was just David because I went to bed. Okay, so we've done our brick stitch stem. If you want to add a third row, then you can add a third row. That's to your discretion, however you feel. I'm going to start with the leaves now. And like I always say, I just like to go down the middle first. I like to know what I'm working with. Now, these stitches that you do down the middle are kind of going to determine how long each of the stitches are. So if you make just one middle stitch, so one stitch here and one stitch here, then you only have 2 stitches. Do you know what I mean? If you make 4 stitches, then that's what you have to work with. You have to keep them all the same length. 6 strands, yes. So sometimes I like to make them a little bit bigger so I don't have to do so many little tiny brick stitches. But sometimes the little brick stitches look nice. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a nice texture. Oh no. Okay, so now we're going to start the brick part. And like I said, I always like to start kind of in the middle where you know how long the stitch is going to be. You know, there's no sense in starting with a tiny little stitch if you're like, I don't know how long it's going to be. Because sometimes you can get away with just one stitch if you make it a little bit longer. But other times you definitely need another little one. And this is the part of embroidery where there's no, like I can't tell you exactly how many stitches are going to be in your leaf because you might have made your stitches shorter or longer than me. So this is where you kind of have to use your best judgment. Okay, so I've done that one. Let's go back here. The middle to the middle. And then we'll do one little stitch here to fill in that space. Cough, giant hoop, cough. Yep. So like I said before, if you have a bigger hoop than me, I have 8 inches, then you might have a bigger leaf. You might have to make more stitches. If you have a smaller hoop, then you'll have a smaller leaf and you might have to make less stitches or use less strands. And you know what? I definitely need a little stitch up there because look, these two here go right next to each other and then this one goes straight up. So you want to keep that shape. And we'll do just one more little one here. And that makes such a big difference because then it's an actual, you know, rounded shape. I feel like brick stitch is one of those that people really have a hard time with though. And I think it's because, like I said, especially with curved shapes, because there's no like, you know, with a straight stitch, you just stitch from here to there and you're done. You kind of have to use your own discretion. And I think sometimes when people are starting, they're like, I don't have any discretion. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, let's see. Do I need another one there? Let's just do one more half and half like this, and that'll be good. And we'll call it a day. There we go. So I've done half the leaf. Let's go back and do the other half. Again, working the same way we did before. Half to half. When you usually stitch, do you use the brick stitch often or is it just for the stitch along? It depends on what I'm stitching. I know I said like sometimes I wouldn't necessarily use the stitches every day that I show in the stitch along, but it just depends on what I'm stitching. Sometimes you want that texture and you want to have that look, and other times you don't. So it depends on what you're making, you know? It is a fill stitch, meaning like it's classed as a fill stitch, so you can fill stuff with it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's what you like. If you like the look of the brick stitch for leaves, then use it for leaves. If you don't, then don't, you know? This one is like a different shape on this side than it is on the other side. Let's go here instead. And then I forgot that little stitch at the top here, so let's do that and move on to the other ones. So there we go. So we have a nice brick stitch leaf and a brick stitch stem. We'll jump over here and do the exact same thing on this side. Now, a good thing that not a good thing, but a thing that you can do that is good is instead of stitching around the leaves, you can slide your needle underneath these petals Why do I always call them the leaves petals and the petals leaves? And I'll show you what I mean in just a minute. Yeah, so instead of doing one little half stitch here and one little half stitch here, you can always go up to this one and then slide your needle underneath these stitches because they're just straight stitches. Making sure that you don't go through the stitches, you're sliding it underneath. Like I think I went through a stitch a little bit. Or we could have just done those first, but like I don't find a problem with that, doing it that way, you know, where other people might decide actually that's too difficult, or they just don't prefer doing it that way. So there's that. Let's fill these ones then. Who says my head in? Because my watch has just told me to stand up and move. I have been standing for a whole freaking hour. But just because I'm not moving around, it doesn't like clock it. Did you guys do the wave your arm trick to get an hour standing? So had mine. Last night, I don't know if you saw my stories, but I had Jessie on me. Come on. Did I do it? No. I had Jessie on me, and then I had all my threads on me, and my watch was like, you have to get up and stand, and I was like, that's not happening. That's not happening at all. I'm just gonna take the hit. But I think I'm gonna have to like ride the bike or something today because I think I sat down all day yesterday with the Super Bowl and I was doing my camera strap I showed. Sorry, secret project. Do you hate it when people do that? I'm working on a secret project. I cannot show anyone. It always makes me laugh. Okay, I gotta get a new one. It's too small, it's too close to the edge. I think we just have one more leaf to do and we're done. And the other side of the stem. Does it involve mermaids? The secret project? No. I don't think so, at least. It's not really a secret project. I'm just doing for my 100-day project. I'm doing some fun little projects that could be possibly all put together and bound. Does that give you any hints? And it's just for myself. It's not like I'm not being paid to do it, if you know what I mean. Okay, and let's just fluff this one up a bit. So it looks like it's behind, and we'll do the last leaf and we're done. I do really love it though, brick stitch. It has such a different look to it than all the other stitches because it's not so smooth. So some people get really like, oh, they should all be smooth. I'm mildly disappointed. Someone really wants mermaids. I do have to plan the next kits though, so maybe I should do a mermaid kit or something. Like a shell. Some shells or something. I want to try whipping the stem. I don't know why. It just seems like a challenge. For like a whipped brick stitch? Yes, I would love a mermaid pattern. Ooh. The people have spoke. I don't know if I would whip a brick stitch because you'd have to do it like on an angle the whole time. Like that. I guess you could, but I think it would make it slanty lines. You know? Like the lines would be like boom, 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 boom. I mean, you could always do a different stitch for the stem. You can always outline. Just try it. The worst thing that can happen is that you'll hate it and you'll take it out. Or try it on a scrap hoop. Take a little piece of fabric and hoop it like a candy cane. So that is like whipped back stitch. And around Christmas, I always have the Christmas patterns, which one of them is a candy cane, white and red joy. I think the patterns are still in the shop. Someone did send me a message today and they said, could I make all the other stitch-alongs available in my shop? And they are in the shop. So if you guys ever want to do more, like you want to stitch more than just this one stitch-along, then you can always go and do other stitch-alongs. And all the videos are on YouTube. I'm still trying to put them all in a playlist. So there are some playlists there already, meaning that all the videos are there together. Like I've put them all in a group. I'm telling ya, I need someone just to come and do like admin-y stuff. I need two of me. I need an assistant. But yeah, all the videos are there. If you sort them from like oldest to newest, then they'll be in order, in the order that we did them. So they'll be like the Free February Stitch Along from 2019. And then I think it's the Greenhouse Stitch Along. And then It's the can't even remember them all. Can't remember them all at all. But at least my brick stitch is done. I think then it's the September Stitchalong. And then the holiday one. And then the other holiday one. Do you know what I mean? So they all go in order that way. Okay. There we are. That's what we've got today. I love these colors together. I think they're so nice. So brick stitch 6 strands done. Oh, I told the free stitch along that I would show the John James needle thing. So I'll show that really quickly. Let me just put this on so I can do the cover. So there we go. So the needle thing is like this. I didn't print out all the pages because I don't need all the pages. Do you know what I mean? I only printed the ones that have the needles on them. So you print it at full scale, 100%, and all of the needles are also full scale. So what you can do is, let me see if this will work. So this is like a DMC Chanel needle. And what you can do is pull one out and you go to wherever their Chanel needles are, and then you can match them by just putting it on the top. So this one right here, so the pack says 18 to 22, and you just lay it over the top and they match. See? I'll zoom it in so you can see a little bit better. So this is the needle I've just pulled out, size 18. And if you put it right next to it, it's the same length. The eye is the same. See? So you can see what kind of needles you have. It's a free guide. It's on the John James website. Oops. So my needle is here. The closest one I could find so these are all the diameters and stuff, the charts. So they've got a bunch of charts here that just show you like the needle lengths, like what size, how thick they are, how long they are, to the thousandths of an inch. So you've got all of those papers there, but really you just want kind of pages like 4, 5, and 6 or whatever. It's a 10-page document. And I'm pretty sure mine was something like this one. But my eye is bigger. Here, let me move it up so I can zoom in better. Yeah, almost like 5, but my needle's longer than a 5, but 4, my eye's bigger than a 4. 3, maybe, but still my eye's a bit bigger. So it's a little bit difficult, but I'd love to know what my actual needle is. So we'll see, but there it is. If you want to go download it from their website, it's there if you want it. So I hope you guys have a great Monday. That's it from me. Make sure that you're tagging me at the Barmy Fox using the hashtag the Barmy Fox SAL. Go like and comment. Today, I'm pretty sure today is the last day to enter the giveaway that's on my page. It's a really, really, really great prize. So please go and enter. I'd love it if one of you guys won, because you guys are the best. Hannah says bye. And she's going to pick a winner tomorrow morning, but American time. So in England, I think that'll be like 12 or 1 o'clock. Do you know what I mean? So I would go and enter now, and you can enter as many times as you want. So just tag 2 people each time. and you can enter more than once. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a great Monday. Yeah. Bye.